Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I'm Banjo Ben, your host here on the website that teaches you how to play mandolin, guitar. This week is Banjo Week. We're going to take Red River Valley. We're going to learn 3 different solos. But the main lesson is not just to learn 3 different solos. It's how to play a song in 3 different keys without using a capo, without retuning. Okay, it's a little bit more involved than just moving up the fretboard like that. It requires some thought, and I want to invite you inside that process. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, here in a moment, I'll ask you to come over to the website, BanjoBenClark.com. You can join as a Go Pick member, have access to this lesson, hundreds of other ones. This is like a 30-minute lesson. I have the tabs exactly as I've played it. I have 3 different speeds of jamtracks that you can use to practice and get better and better at this. And me and you are going to walk through the process of looking at a melody and how to interpret it in different keys. Let's get started right now. Y'all, we've got a big one today. We're going to learn how to play 3 solos for Red River Valley, but that's not all. We're going to learn how to play 3 solos in 3 different keys. And here's the kicker. We're going to do it without a capo, and we're going to do it without retuning. We're in the standard G tuning today, but we're going to start in the key of C, play a solo, then we're going to move to the key of D, then we'll end up where we're most probably comfortable in the key of G. And so today is a big higher level lesson on how to approach these types of things, because you'll find yourself in these positions where you'll need to play melodies in positions that you're not necessarily comfortable with. So this is great. We're going to learn some solos, but more importantly, we're going to learn how to build them in different keys. Now, let's go ahead and throw up the first line of tab there. You'll notice that I have the lyrics beneath the melody notes. I also have our pick hand indications down there in the circles, thumb, index, and middle. And then we have our chord above the staff as well. Now, the first thing I'm going to think about, and we're starting here in the key of C, but the first thing I'm going to ask myself is how and where can I find the basic melody on my fingerboard in this key? You may not know how to even get to that point, and that's okay. Just ride along with me as I explain this. But I'm going to find this melody probably based around the chord of the key that I'm in. So I'm making my C chord there, and sure enough, we find our melody here starting on the G string. Then come sit by my side if you love me. Those are my melody notes for the first phrase in the key of C. That's where I have to get them, okay? At least that's one way of getting them. I could come up to the 5th fret and I could get the same notes. But that's obviously a little harder to play. I could come up here and get them an octave higher. But I don't want to play all the way up there. I don't want to do it down here. And that's very handy, pardon the pun, that's very handy because we can present that melody without having to do a lot of left-hand gymnastics like we are going to have to do a little later on. So what I'm going to do is play those basic melody notes, maybe move them around in time just a little bit to work out some rolls behind them to support them. Nothing fancy here, but it sounds like this. We'll come in on our 3rd beat of that first measure there that's labeled measure 2. Then come sit. Now, the only next thing I'm worried about is just kind of filling in some space as I get to my next melody notes. If you love me. When I land on me, that starts the beginning of 4 beats of empty space that we have, and I have the freedom there to play whatever lick that I want to fill in the space. And so it helps to know a few C licks there. So let me just play this first line for you a little slower, and then we'll do it much slower together later on. 1, 2. We get to measure 6, we'll land there on that C note. I just want to encourage you also to try to keep this melody notes louder than the rest of your notes. That takes some practice. Now I'm thinking about, again, where's my melody go? Do not hasten to bid me adieu. Okay, so my melody is going to go up higher now. Where does it go up to? It goes up to this G note. Well, a couple things come to mind immediately. I know that I can get it there on that 5th fret. I could also utilize my 5th string because guess what note it's tuned to? A G note. Okay, so I have to figure out, am I going to use my 5th string or am I going to use this 5th fret here? I'm going to elect to slide up and grab it here on the 5th fret and reinforce it with that open 5th string. That's just the way I'm going to do it here, and you can see how I do that. So, do not hasten to bid me. I'm just going to jump up, and what I'm jumping up to is my next C position, right? Bid me. And I have a tendency to work in melodic licks when I'm playing out of the key of C, just because they work so well to keep this melody moving. Now here when we land on do, for a do, measure 9, that's over a G chord. Okay, and then we have some space here just like we did up in measure 5. So this is probably the easiest part of it because we can just grab a G lick and play a G lick there. So let's play this line together. 1, 2, ready, go. Do not hasten to be. Measure 10. I'm thinking about my melody again, and of course I'm not doing it this fast in real time. I could play it in real time, but it won't be as tasty of a solo, I'll be honest. So I had time to sit down and play Architect with this melody, and you might be able to as well. This is a great exercise, but I want to think about my melody. Just remember the Red River Valley. Okay, so I know where I'm going to have to go, and I'm thinking about different positions that can take me there.